So they went ahead and gave the scrubs and all that to my husband to get on to go to the room with me. Well, he had to wait outside the room. Actually, he was down the hall a little bit, and I went to the operating room, and it was really cold in there. But it always is in operating rooms. So, yeah. So I was in the operating room. They set me up on the bed, and I think they gave me a numbing shot. Yeah, they numbed me on my legs and kind of in my back. And I remember you have to sit up on a bed, and both my legs were hanging off the bed. So like you can imagine, here's the bed, and my legs are hanging off, and I'm sitting up like this. And like you have to hunch over, and they gave me a pillow to hug, and my fists were clenched, and you have to like hold over, and your back has to be smooth, but it has to be at a curve, like so they can, I don't know, it's weird. So anyways, if you've ever done this, you know what I'm talking about. So I was trying to do that, and literally, let me tell you something. I'm not trying, if you're watching this video, you might want to click off of it because this might scare you if you're going to have a C-section. But, oh my gosh, it might not be this bad to some people, but the spinal block was absolutely horrible. It was probably the most pain I've ever been in my life. And I'm probably just over exaggerating about this, but I'm a wuss for pain. But they literally, like, they had to stick me, I'm telling you, it was probably 5 times before it went in. And I could just feel, like, my legs were numb. Like, so I was wobbly, and I was just, it was horrible. I don't even want to think about it because it's so painful. And, so I was like already wobbly, and I had all these people, like literally there was like 20 people around me. And, it was so nice though. Like I was screaming my head off. My husband said he could hear me down the hallway. I was screaming, like literally, if you think of screaming. And they were like, "What is wrong?" And I'm like, "This is painful. That's what's wrong." Like, and they're like, "Well, what hurts?" I said, I can't explain it. It feels like you're breaking my bones. Like I could feel like the needle going in. It felt like my bones were just cracking. It was horrible. Like I'm going to cry thinking about it. Oh, it was horrible. And, so like about the 3rd time he stuck me, I was like going crazy. And I said, "I can't do this. I was literally yelling, "I can't do this." And my doctor, like if I was a doctor and somebody was going crazy like that, like I'd be like, "You have to calm down." But my doctor was just so nice. She was like, "You can do this. You're doing good. This is normal. You're going to feel like this. You just got to get through it. You want to see your baby." She was giving me all these encouraging words. And by this time they were going in for the 4th time with that needle. And I kept moving because every time I heard my bones crunching, that's what it felt like, or breaking, I just jumped. I jumped up, and they said, this is what got me to actually get the spinal. With the 5th try, the anesthesiologist told me, "Okay, I'm going to try one more time, and if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to put you to sleep, and you won't get to see the birth of your baby." And when he said that, something just clicked. I was like, "No, I'm strong. I'm going to do this. I'm going to see the birth of my child. I'm not going to be put to sleep and be woke up hours later or whatever, however long it takes, and not know what's going on. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm strong." So honestly, I was literally just saying a prayer, like, "God, please get me through this. Give me the strength to get this spinal in and done." So I just did it one more time, and I was holding real tight, and I was trying to not even think about it. And he did it, and it was in, and it was done, and he said, "We're good to go. We can go ahead and get started." So they led me back, and at this point I was like, "Thank you. The worst part is over," because that spinal, seriously, I I don't know, but it was bad. And let me tell you, the C-section part was a breeze, but the spinal block was horrible. It's completely different than an epidural, and I've heard people say that the epidural kind of hurts, but it's not that bad. But the spinal block really hurt me, and I can't tell you that enough. That's something that I will always remember. So they lay me back, and of course I had to have help because at this point, like probably from under my boobs down, I was numb. So they lay me back, and she put something cold on my leg, and she said, "Can you feel that?" I said, "No." And she put something cold on, like, up here, and she said, "Can you feel that?" And I said, "Yes." So that way they knew that I was numb down there, and I could tell I was numb. So they were like getting the curtain up, they were getting everything ready, and I think I hear Aria. Yeah. I think she's waking up, so I'm gonna try to hurry. So I was like, my husband still wasn't in there, and I remember asking him. I was like loopy at this point. I think they had gave me more meds and all that, and I had the gas mask on, and I remember looking up and I couldn't see my husband, and so I asked one of the, I guess, doctors, and I said, "Where's my husband? Are you gonna bring him in?" Because at this point, I mean, I really couldn't feel what they were doing down there, so I didn't know if they'd already started the C-section or what. He said, "Yeah, we're going to bring him in. We're going to go get him." So they went and got him. He came in. And when I saw him, I was a little bit more comfortable. So he just held my hand, and the C-section didn't hurt at all. Like I'm telling you, I did not feel a thing. It was great. So I was just laying there kind of looking around, and all of a sudden, I'll never forget this. My doctor, she said, "Oh, Mallory, she's beautiful." And they hadn't even pulled her out yet. I think they were fixing to pull her out, but she said, "Oh, Mallory, she's beautiful." And I just remember like thinking, this moment is really happening. I'm about to become a mother to a beautiful baby girl. And like, oh my gosh, all these emotions just came upon me, and I was just, this was really happening. And after all the years of crying and thought I'd never have a baby, and I mean, we only technically tried for 13 months, I think, or 14 months, but I've wanted a baby since I could remember. And I just remember, and having the PCOS, to this day, I still remember what it feels like to think I'll never have a baby. And I don't think I'll ever forget that feeling. But anyways, back to the story. Anyway, so they pulled her out, and they brought her over, and they just kind of showed her to me and Devin. And she had, the white stuff all over her, so they had to go clean her off. I was 39 weeks and 2 days, I believe. Yeah, I think so. And so anyways, I was just telling Devin, she's so beautiful, she's so beautiful. And so they brought her over and let Devin hold her after they cleaned her up. And oh, sorry, before they let Devin hold her, they yelled out, and she's 9'6". And oh, I forgot to tell you, it was 5:35 or 5:36. I can't remember now, because see, the thing is, the doctor said it was 5:36, and on the paperwork they said it was 5:35 that she was born. So really, it was either 5:35 or 5:36. But it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Anyway, so it was 5:30 by the time I even had this little girl, and I was supposed to have her at 1:30. So anyways, it was crazy. So they said 9'6", and I said, "Oh, I knew she was going to be a big baby." And she's just so healthy. And they pricked her little foot and they tested her blood sugar, and her blood sugar was just a little bit low. So they said, well, we got to give this baby some formula. We got to give this baby some formula. And at this point, obviously, I did not want a formula feed. I wanted to breastfeed. And but I was loopy, and I was, I threw up. I remember poking the man and said, I gotta throw up. So he gave me a little bucket, and I just threw up. And so I just said, yeah, whatever, give her what you need, because I didn't want her to be unhealthy. So they said, okay, well, we'll let Devin hold her for a little bit, and then we'll take her. So Devin got to hold her. They were taking the placenta out, cleaning me up, stitching me, doing all that. I got dissolvable stitches. And, I guess that's really about it. And after that, they took her to the nursery, and they wheeled me to, recovery room. And I was in there for 3 hours. And I didn't need to be in there for 3 hours. I don't know why they kept me in there for 3 hours, but they did. I didn't get to a room till about 8:30. And the numbness started wearing off almost immediately. Like, as soon as I got in the recovery room, I could slowly feel it going away. And probably by 6:30, it was completely gone. I could feel everything again. So, yeah, Aria's, I think she went back to sleep now. I think she's moving again because I can hear her. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I finally got in the room, and at this point, I still hadn't got to hold her. And they finally brought her in, and I was asking everybody while I was in recovery, how's my baby doing? Nobody's giving me any updates. But anyway, she was fine, and once I got back to the room, I got to hold her, and we got that special bond together. And then everybody came in to see her, and after that, of course, Devin's dad and stepmom came too, and they were in there too. And after everybody got to see her, everybody left. I tried to breastfeed, and that didn't go quite as I planned. I'll make a separate video about that though. But anyways, yeah, that's my birth story, you guys, and I just wanted to record it because I want to remember all these little details, and I probably forgot some stuff. I don't think I did. Maybe I don't know. But the spinal block was horrible. I've got to remind you of that. But anyway, it was all worth it because I got the most precious gift out of it. So, and I've thought about that. If I have to do it again, if I get pregnant again, obviously I'm going to have to have another C-section probably. And if I have to get that spinal again, which I will, I'm not going to be looking forward to that. I'm really not. But I got a precious gift out of it, and she's perfect. She's a gift from God. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed my birth story, and I will talk to y'all for my next video.